What's up, guys? Welcome back to another installment of Pigskin Politics. I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
And today we'll be discussing the records we think will be for the AFC.
Football's almost back.
It's so close, man. It's so close.
All right, well, we've been doing overhype, underhype. May as well just knock out the AFC.
Sure.
And who do you want to start with?
Why don't we start with the AFC East?
You would. All right.
Take it away.
Pecking order. Now, remember, we're going to be within 2 games. I think that's reasonable. It could be high or low. What I'm going to tell you is what I feel the median is. So if I say like 8-8, I think they could go 10-6, 6-10. Reasonable. Number 1, I got the Pats at 10-6.
Okay.
You know, they do it all the time. I don't even think when they get worse, they actually get worse. I think they cope with a lot of refereeing. Yeah, 10-6. Number 2 in the division, I got the Dolphins going 8-8. Everyone thinks they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. They're not going to be the worst team in the NFL. I don't understand why Vegas has them at frickin' 300-1 odds. They're a better team than everyone gives them credit for.
Wait, who'd you just say?
Dolphins, 8-8.
500-1. Vegas.
See what I mean? It's like they want to raise someone else's odds, and they're like, well, we got to lower someone, so let's knock them down. They predicted that last year, too. Always take the over on the Dolphins. They're a team you can't sleep on. They'll be fine. They'll be 8-8. They won't do a number 1 draft, but they'll be middle of the pack as they always are. And they could surprise someone. I think a wild card's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Third, Bills, 6-10. The division's basically all decided, and it always falls down that same exact path, and that of course means I got the Jets below them, and I think 5-11. I think 3-13 is a possibility, and I think 7-9 is their ceiling. I don't see much from them, and we already discussed that in our other videos. So, See what you got.
Well, for my division winner, Patriots. I mean, I don't see there's any reason why they're not going to win this division. I got them going 11-5. I don't see why they shouldn't. The Jets, I have being second place, 8-8. I did a video about why they're so overhyped, and overhyped, I mean, they're overhyped as everyone thinks they're going to be a playoff team, or most people do. I don't think they're that good yet.
But you think 10-6 is possible for them?
I didn't say 10-6. I said 8-8.
You're within 2 games, though.
I mean, I guess, but...
Okay.
I'm giving 8-8. I'm not giving the over on 8-8. I'm giving you the under.
Okay.
Dolphins, 6-10. And yeah, thinking about it, the Jets could be a playoff team.
No. Whatever.
I don't think they will. I don't think Adam Gase is that good, but whatever. Watch that video if you want to see me talk crap on them. And then finally, the Bills at 6-10. And honestly, all 3 of these teams in this division are interchangeable. I could see the Dolphins being that 8-8 team. I could see the Bills being that 8-8 team, being a potential playoff team. All 3 of these teams, I don't think they're winning the division, but you could switch either of them, 2nd to 4th.
Okay. Well, you threw the AFC East at me, so I'll throw the AFC North at you. What do you got for that one?
The AFC North. I have the Steelers winning the division at 10-6. I have the Ravens 2nd at 10-6. And the reason why, even the Steelers missing the playoffs is a little embarrassing for them last year. They're always a good team. The Ravens are also always relatively a good team. I don't think they're going to suck. I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to be that bad.
You wouldn't, would you?
The Browns, I have them going 9-7. I don't think they're as good as what people think they are. I think 9-7 is actually their best. I don't think they can win the division. They have never won the AFC North, and I don't think it starts this year. And finally, I got the Bengals at 4-12. I think they're going to be awful.
Pretty reasonable. So I don't agree with you at all there. I have the Browns taking it at 10-6. I think they're. I'm kind of buying into the hype. I believe in the Browns. Save them.
Wow.
Save the Browns. They've made a lot of great moves, and they could have won 10 games last year if they got a kicker. Like they were that close. I know you don't buy it. I know you hate them. You're a Ravens fan, but whatever. I buy it. I like their odds. And they've got more reasonable, they got the home games against, the harder teams they play and the away games for the easier teams, but whatever. Second in your division, Ravens, 10-6. I think the Browns have a better chance of going 11-5, but I think 10-6 is about reasonable for the Ravens, if not 9-7. I think they're a fine team. Their defense always performs. I don't see a reason to drop that. Third in the division, Steelers, 7-9. I don't get why we'd rip on them and then you'd make them a division winner. I don't think they have it. I think they got too much drama going on.
When I ripped on them, I said they're not as good as what pundits were thinking. They were thinking like 13-3, 14-2 Super Bowl champions. I'm saying you're going to win the division and probably lose out the first round of the playoffs.
I'll make the hot take. I don't think they even make the playoffs again. 2 years in a row. I don't think they do it. And lastly, Bengals 4-12, and that's honestly generous. I don't think I'm going to have any team worse than 4-12. You know, like, it's just disrespectful to say 3-13 if you're given a 2-game buffer. So, yeah. What do you want next?
AFC South.
All right, you got it.
I'll start that off. I think the Colts are winning that division 11-5. Reason being, that division is always bad. Always bad. Every single time they give the Colts like 5-6 games a year. I might even be over-exaggerating, but I feel like they're so good and they're always in the playoffs because their division is that bad. Next, I have the Titans, 9-7. I don't know what Marcus Mariota is. I don't think he's that good, but they do have a good defense. I think they could be 9-7. Nextly, the Texans, 7-9. And I think the Texans are going to take a step back. Deshaun Watson got hit a lot last year. Their O-line was pretty bad, and they didn't really upgrade their O-line through the draft or through free agency at all, I would say. And then lastly, I have the Jaguars. I had said 7-9, but I probably actually meant 5-11.
It's a little bit mean.
Their defense is going to be good, but I don't think Nick Foles he's going to get there, and I don't think he's going to be Nick Foles.
That's a Super Bowl quarterback right there you're talking about.
I don't think he's going to be good with the Jaguars, man.
All right. I think the AFC South is going to be the worst division in the AFC, bar none. But it's easy because they have to play the AFC West and the NFC South. You got to go through 2 of the best divisions in the league, 4 of the best teams. I think they're going to get obliterated, and that says nothing for the rest of the games they play. You know, whatever. I got the Colts as the division winner. They always are. It just comes down to that.
Is that division?
The Titans don't know how to play them, and that helps. They always steal one against the Texans, and it's hard not to win that division when you're going 4-2 and everyone else is going 3-3. Right. But so 9-7. 11-5. I'd say is too much for them. But 7-9. I wouldn't actually be surprised if a 7-9 division winner came from the South. They've got a brutal schedule. It's just 2 hard divisions, but whatever. Titans 8-8. Could go 10-6, could go 6-10. It all depends on how they actually do in the division. If they win a game against the Colts, what do you know? I think they're a 9-7 team. Below them, I got the Jags, 7-9. I think Blake Bortles is dragging that team down. I think the play calling was just abysmal last year, and I think they had a beautiful thing going with their smash mouth defense and run game. I think they'll come back a bit. I don't know why they got as knocked down as they were, but I think they're fine overall. And lastly, probably my hottest take, Texans, they're going first to worst. I don't see it. Who was it they released from them? It was like a coach or something. I think that's going to impact them heavily.
OC? I wouldn't even be surprised they went from first to worst, dude.
Yeah, and last year they rode that 8-9 game win streak, got to the playoffs. I wasn't impressed in that win streak either. I mean, you beat the Jets, the Bills, the wounded Dolphins. You won on like some last-second field goals and overtime based on the Colts and the Cowboys making terrible decisions. And then you made it. You made it. You just had to take the second seed, and you couldn't survive against Nick Foles and the Eagles. And then they just gave up. They lost to the Colts in the first quarter in their playoff game. Colts scored 14 points in the first quarter.
Didn't they lose like
21-7? Yeah, they lost 2 of the last 3 games. Yeah, and then they lost the Colts. That game was over by the first quarter because the Texans only scored 7 points. Mm-hmm. Just sad.
Let's move on. Last division in the AFC West. Who you got winning that division?
All right, so I love the Chiefs. I think they can win the division, but I actually think the Chargers will win it. But, of course, they're interchangeable. I just think Chargers will be a smidge better than the Chiefs based on the slightest of tiebreakers. And I think both have a 12-4 ceiling. 1-2, and I'd take the Chargers over the Chiefs. It's just Chargers got to play, the Dolphins, Colts, and Steelers, and I think that's more forgiving than playing the Pats, Texans, and Ravens. So I think it's in those 3 games in the scheduling that'll give them just a little bit of an edge. So both them 12-4, meaning it could be 14-2. Bottom 2, Raiders, Broncos, 6-10 both. I give them another year for the Raiders. I'll give the Raiders the edge over the Broncos. Give them another year before they make it to Vegas. And then I think they'll turn around a good bit. I think they're doing the seeds, the groundwork. But the Broncos, they're the weirdest team I looked at all year. They picked up the Bears defensive coordinator. They could be that team that blows all my, predictions out the water. I feel good about most of these. The Broncos is the one where it could surprise the heck out of me. So that's all I got.
Broncos could be surprisingly good. As for me, I have the Chiefs winning the division at 12-4. They were super explosive on offense last year. Their defense did get a smidge bit better. I don't know how good their defense is going to be, but it'll make it viable. And Travis Kelce is insane. Yep. Patrick Mahomes is football Jesus. He's good with his left hand, apparently. I don't think he could stop him. He had 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns. He's crazy.
He could make the MVP twice in a row.
I wouldn't even doubt it. I wouldn't even be surprised. If he was MVP again next year, I'd be like,
phenomenal.
Give him a gold jacket.
I'm not a Chiefs fan, and I love watching him play. He does some awesome stuff.
I'm not a Chiefs fan, and I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan.
Absolutely.
Chargers next. I got it going 11-5, but if they win the division, I wouldn't be surprised actually.
Okay.
The reason being is they had a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense last year. They were very balanced.
They're more balanced than the Chiefs.
They were, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just the only thing that worries me is Phillip Rivers in big games. He's not good in the playoffs.
That I won't say the Chargers are going to the Super Bowl because of that, but I do think they'll be the best team.
That worries me.
Yeah.
Next, I got the Broncos going 8-8, and I think they'll be a little bit better than last year, just because I think they upgraded at quarterback a little bit with Joe Flacco. Because who did they have last year? It was Osweiler, right?
The Broncos? Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, that's right. Yeah,
he came from the Vikings.
He's a turd, and Osweiler was there before, and he's a turd. And Trevor Siemian couldn't even complete like a 12-yard pass. He was terrible.
And all that coming from John Elway as the owner. It's amazing.
It's crazy. And their defense isn't that terrible, is it?
It could be good, but it wasn't great last year. That's the same team that lost at home to the Browns in a must-win game. They could have been the 6th seed if they just closed out after the Steelers gifted them.
I think they're better. And sorry, Raiders, but I have you guys going 5-11. But listen, when you guys moved to Vegas, you guys got a new stadium. Don't give up on John Gruden. Keep sticking with that, because I actually think the Raiders could be good in like a year or two.
Pull a Browns where you're just abysmal, and
they're
then all of a
getting
sudden
a lot of talent. They're getting a lot of first-round picks, and they're going to have a crazy good draft again next year. I mean, they way overdraft.
Yeah, they'll have another first-round pick draft.
They'll have like a top 10, but they're getting up there. They're getting some talent. Just give Gruden another year, and I swear you guys are going to be almost playoff contention next year. Not this year. Bear with it this year. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I promise you guys will be better.
My dad is, so sorry, Dad.
I don't know how much better, but it's better than you guys have been a laughingstock. You won't be a laughingstock in 2 years, I promise.
I like it. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty straightforward. So next up, obviously, the NFC. We'll tackle that. We agreed with most teams there, most records. You got a few I don't really agree with. The Steelers, I think, are a little high.
Jets being 8-8.
Okay, I didn't say them, but yeah.
I do think the Steelers are overhyped in the sense that I don't think they're going to be offensively as good. Right. But I do think they could be a playoff team.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I do think the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns could all be interchangeable too. The Steelers could be third. Ravens could be first. Browns somehow could be first. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I'm pretty dead set in my division structure. Maybe last and a third could swap, but in meaningless garbage games like a Week 17 game could decide it, where they're just playing for a draft pick, something odd like that. But whatever.
Waiting for draft picks. I love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for garbage. Can't wait for garbage time. Can't wait for football.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game is coming up real soon. I don't know why we're getting excited about it, because I don't really care about the Broncos or Falcons, and we're probably not going to watch
Just means
it.
football's coming back.
There might be a cool highlight. And football's
could be one.
There's some training camp highlights going on right now, and it's getting so exciting.
It's about frickin' time.
It's about freaking time. The off season in football.
We almost made it.
We're so close, guys.
We almost made it.
But next, we're going to do our predictions about the NFC.
I like it.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. And, yeah.